All right. Hey,
Hey.
let's go. This is going to be so much fun today. Our Just Talking guest for our season finale of the Chris Collins Show is fashion stylist Jamar Hart. And man, you were always on the go and you always looking fly, my
Woo!
friend. How's it going?
I'm having a great morning, and I feel amazing, and I'm ready to step into 2020 with I'm just ready.
Yes.
And tell me this, how did your morning start off? Why was it so amazing?
I woke up this morning, and I did some push-ups,
Okay.
because I've been eating a lot of holiday food at the
Mm-hmm.
parties,
Yes.
and I actually prayed. That's one of the first things I do before I pick up my phone in the morning. I made that a rule,
Okay.
and
Nice.
I just have a positive outlook on life, so I feel great.
And why do you think just having that moment to just stop and take a reflection of just yourself and how has praying, helped you out in kind of your spiritual journey, especially going into 2020? Because I love the confidence, man. And I think that's one of the things, with fashion people like you, because, when I think about people like you and like jewelry guys like Ben Baller, I just love that they all have this kind of certain cocky attitude. And I kind of want some of that to rub off on me. And would you say that's a kind of a fair assessment or?
I would say for me, you have to have confidence in whatever you do because if you don't believe in it, why should anyone else?
Uh,
So there's a lot going on every day. So I try to make time for myself and preserve my peace and make sure that I'm making the right decisions. And I try to slow down so I'm not running all over the place and unorganized.
and do you
So I
find
feel
your
like,
your confidence
sorry.
also comes because of your prayer with religion and your relationship with God? You feel you get a lot of your confidence also from that? Like that
Ab-
helps?
Absolutely. Um, I feel like it helps me when I have faith in things
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes you don't really see the things happening, but if you speak it into existence and you pray for it and you just have a positive outlook, you know the bad is going to happen, but you still have to focus on the good. And
Yeah.
I feel like that helps me get through so many things in this industry and just in life in general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially in this industry because they throw curveballs at you that you have no control of
Yeah,
at
you're
all.
absolutely right, Marissa, because, when I think about the fashion industry or just, you're in the entertainment industry, Jamar, and you know how it is. I mean, and I'm always preaching to everybody, and sometimes with the listeners out here, I'm going, sometimes you got to get out of that 3 mile radius of Hollywood because it will eat you alive, right? And I
It
mean,
will.
and how do you survive in this fashion industry? Because, I mean, didn't you grow up living in Detroit, Michigan?
No
Yes,
way.
I'm originally from Detroit. Shout out to Detroit.
Yay! What's up?
And so with the Detroit, Michigan, how was that lifestyle going from the East Coast and the West Coast like?
Oh, our
Oh,
connection
we
is
have a little
poor.
bit of a connection.
Here we
Hey,
go.
we won't even.
Calling it. There
Oh,
you
there we
are.
go. Hey,
There
sorry
you
about that.
are.
We lost you for a second.
Ask that
Um,
question again.
but I
If
just,
you, sorry,
yeah, I just wanted to rehash it
can you
back
hear
with
me?
you again because I know you grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and I can only imagine taking that journey from the East Coast to the West Coast was a lot on you. And so, was fashion always your forte? Kind of growing up at an early age.
You know what? I've always been creative. I will say that. Like I used to draw when I was younger. A lot of people don't really know this, but like in Detroit, I actually like started rapping, and I was
Okay.
a promoter, and I would bring
Yeah.
celebrities in, and you know, I actually wanted to have my own club. Like I didn't want to be in fashion,
Yeah.
but you know what? I believed in myself, and I tapped into one of my gifts and it ended up working for me and I never looked back. I wanted to be just famous and have all the clubs and walk in with my suit and have all the girls around
Yeah.
me with bottles. But
Yeah, I love it.
that's the order I got. That's not reality. So in 2013, you know what I said? Everybody's becoming a party promoter. They're catching on to my
Yes.
wave, and
Right.
I'm like, what else am I great at or I'm good at? And I'm like, everyone always asks me about my clothes and my pieces. Like, where do you get this? And how did you get that? And where did you find this? I want one. So I told myself that I'm like, I'm going to personal shop. And it started off as a hustle. But
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I still love fashion. I didn't go to school for fashion. I never wanted to be a designer. I just always had an eye for it. I didn't care if it was designer or not. If I thought it was great and it looked amazing and I can match it up and create a complete look, that's what I did. So
But
I became.
let me ask you this though, Jamar. Was there like someone who approached you that kind of wanted to get you into fashion, or was there like some kind of outside source, like maybe you were online and you saw that someone else was doing it and I can do better, or was it one of those kind of situations? Or
I'm going to be honest with you. My girlfriend at the time, she was going to school to be an anesthesiologist,
oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
and she didn't like the lifestyle I was doing because I was in the club all the time.
okay,
And she would see girls coming up and just trying to get at me, and she was like, "You have so much potential. Like you need to figure out what we're gonna do. We're gonna get married and have
Yeah.
kids." I'm like, "Kids?" I'm like, "We didn't talk about that." But after that conversation, I took the positive out of that. You know, I could
Mm-hmm.
have took it the wrong way, and I said, "Wow, she's kind of right. Like I do have a lot of potential. What else am I great at other than this? Because this isn't promised, you know."
yeah.
So that's when I took a chance on myself and tried something new, and I loved it.
I
So,
think
like,
that's
what?
great.
So you tried something new. Did you decide like I want to get into fashion because I'm good at it, and I'm gonna go move to LA? Like, why not New York? Because like, kind of New York is like that, fashion mecca that I think of when we're having
Yeah,
new styles.
where
So
is the
like,
fashion mecca? What would
Yeah.
you say is it?
like, why LA? Where is it? What's going on?
I just feel like, this is the thing. New York is great for fashion too, but it's such a rat race. Everybody's,
Mm,
I'm here and I'm there.
Okay.
LA
gotcha.
is a little bit laid back,
Mm-hmm.
so you can kind of tackle this beast
Mm.
strategically. So I
Yeah.
felt if I want to do anything, it's all the movie stars are here, all the production companies are here, all the headquarters and studios
Sure,
are here.
All
yeah.
the
Why
sunshine
not?
is
Why
here.
not?
That's so true. And let me ask you this, because this is going to be a very, very tough question, Jamar. We just had to hit you, man. But all these fashion trends that you're seeing, even during this decade, and we're about to go into a new one in 2020, what fashion trend that you've seen as a fashion stylist that you just wish would just die out?
Oh,
Like,
okay. No offense to the people who feel like this is
This is them.
no,
a
you're
thing.
learning it from a celebrity stylist, listeners.
Listen,
Jamar's
listen,
Heart's going to
listeners.
let you know what's good, okay? What is it,
What should
Jamar?
die off?
I'm going to be honest, and that's the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I am not a big fan of the sparkly jumpsuit, catsuit, bodysuit, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it.
What?
That it, Beyonce can do it. Nicki Minaj can do it.
Yeah, they can actually.
They can, but
I can't.
that's not for everybody. And I'm tired of seeing different color wigs with sparkly jumpsuits, and I'm like, where are you going? Where are you performing? Like
Yeah, is this like a
that?
San
That
Diego
is for
Comic-Con?
Like we're not in Las Vegas.
But let me ask
We're
you
not
this.
in Las Vegas at
Yeah.
the Cardi B or Celine Dion residency.
I
We're
know.
not. So just put on some basics.
It's so true. We're losing
Oh,
just a tad
hold on,
bit
you're
of
coming
connection
back.
with Jamar, but I
And
got it.
just
There you are.
Yeah.
take time. Sorry, I feel like that's a cop out when someone just throws on a body. It's like, oh, I'm going to know you're backup dancing.
Hey, sorry, Jamar. We kind of lost you on that one just a tad bit. We kind of lost a disconnection. But I have these really funny questions that I've been dying to ask you because I have a couple things that I need questions answered by a celebrity stylist like you. So, one, you can just give it a real brief 15 seconds, but how is Kanye West's clothing line so successful?
Kanye is a Gemini just like me, and we know how to market ourselves.
Okay, I
That's
like
true.
that
And,
answer.
It's
Okay.
all marketing. I agree with that.
Another thing is he uses. I think he tries to turn the negatives into positives, and he
Mhm.
gets your attention by going on rants. That's one of his marketing tools. He goes on rants and he redirects your energy and your mindset to fashion when you really want to focus on something that you didn't like. He probably
Ooh.
said something you didn't like or didn't agree with, and when he drops a shoe and he
Yeah,
drops
that's true.
pieces and Kim Kardashian tweets it,
And that's
and
it.
you kind of forget about everything.
That's why that makes sense. But let me ask you this. This will be another curveball, and I know Marissa's got a really good one too as well. But when did basketball shoes become more iconic than owning a pair of skateboard shoes?
I feel like the hip hop community has a
Mhm.
lot of influence on fashion, and
Yeah,
people rarely credit
they
the
sleep
hip hop
on it.
industry.
Yeah.
And so everyone really wants to dress like musicians and entertainers. So, and a lot of athletes as well.
Yeah.
Sneakers have been acceptable on the red carpets now. Like
Yeah.
it's
Which
okay to
about
wear a
time.
Common Project or a Van with a suit.
Right.
Yeah. Which I love. I love that look personally.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I know Marissa,
Okay,
you got a
so
pretty
I
funny
have.
one.
All right. So, is it ever acceptable to wear this combination of Daisy Dukes and Uggs at the same time?
No, that is fatty body tendencies. Like you.
Your
Okay,
face just
so
like taking a long,
all
hard pause.
you peeps out here, it's wintertime. I know you love your Uggs. Hang up the Daisy Dukes. They may not. Jamar Hart has put down
Jamar
the
Hart
law.
has said it. Do not do this going into
Do
2020.
not do that combo. Do not get your pumpkin spice latte in your Uggs and Daisy
No,
Dukes
never.
with your colored wigs and sequin jumpsuits. Don't do it.
Yes, don't do it. And if it was going to be me, I would say no more of carrying around a dead possum as a keychain. Or, oh, no, the ferret tail. That's
No.
Oh, that's
yeah,
gross.
don't be
No bueno.
doing that.
No
but hey,
bueno.
I just want to remind all the listeners out there, we have Jamar Hart in the studio, or on Skype right now for Just Talking, and we're going to be right back after this commercial break.
And for those of you who have been streaming with us this morning, please continue to listen to our show by going to thechriscollinsshow.com and click the on-air button.
That's right.
We'll
We'll be
be
right back.
Back.
We'll- Yeah, that's right. You're listening to the Chris Collins Show, and we got celebrity stylist Jamar Hart Skyping all the way in at 22S Radio. This is amazing, brother, and we're loving this so far. And we want to get right on into this because, you've been hearing about the situation down in Hong Kong right now, which is pretty amazing that's been happening this week. You got pro-democracy protesters out there using their color of protest as black garments. But just this week, Hong Kong just started banning the imports of any kind of black garments moving forward. And Jamar, I wanted to ask you this question because what is it that Hong Kong is missing about clothing in opposition?
I feel like they really are just trying to take a stand, and they're tired of a lot of things that are going on. But at the same time, the import in and out, it's affecting people's business.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like
Livelihoods.
just because that color black, you want to put everything on that. But there's a lot of black pants, dresses, just
Work
different
clothes
coats.
that people have to have and wear.
Isn't it a
Yes.
bit scary to you, though, Jamar, when you think about it? Like, when someone's just banning, like, a certain color brand?
color.
Because, like, as much as, like, like, what I think about here in the United States, for example, when you see a red hat, for example, we already know what that means, whether you even see Make America Great Again on the hat. And imagine if something like that came to the United States. What do you think these, like you're saying before, it's like, I kind of compare it with maybe, like, LeBron James, for example. Sometimes I like to joke about Nike kind of controls his way of thought because, Nike does have a certain sense, I think, about how they kind of dictate how a public figure should be represented wearing their clothing. So do you believe sometimes those garments can have, like, a powerful message even beyond,
Yeah, it depends on how you just flush it out there. Like, I actually think that it's sad because a lot of people who have nothing to do with this have been affected.
Yeah.
And a lot of people put their all in. I really support like independent brands and mom and pop shops. Like, I support them. Like, the big brands are always going to be around. So it's so many designers that have put up their house, moved away from their children just to start the dream of being a designer.
Right.
And the higher ups are saying, oh, we're going through this right now, so you have to suffer. That's not fair because your whole family can suffer. That can take food out of your mouth and your children's mouth.
Yeah.
Well, since you are really big about supporting local communities, when you go and buy fashion pieces for your celebrities, is that one of the first places you look for? Is at those mom and pop shops down in a fashion district, or
Yeah, that's
are
a
you
good point.
online searching for items to get that better deal? Like, where do you go to find your fashion pieces?
I actually, before, no one really knows this, but before I go to a Neiman Marcus or Beverly Hills or Hollywood, anything like that, I
Yeah.
always reach out to my independent designers,
Ah.
either
Okay.
where it's from Detroit or New York, here in LA, Ohio, Chicago, Houston, because I see a lot of people that are really, really, really talented, and the big names like underline and they watch what's going on and they kind of take what they're doing because they don't have the budget to
Mm-hmm.
produce that at a mass level. And you see a lot of that happening, a lot of just borrowing without giving any acknowledgement of this is the designer that I was influenced by, even though they're not as big as me. So yeah.
So would you recommend that in the fashion industry? It's not just a one-person show. Like you build connections consistently through the movement. I'm kind of amazed that you're actually doing that. I didn't even realize you'd even go to anywhere in Detroit to be like, you'd think you'd have it all here in LA. But I guess not. But let me ask you this, because I know the big story this week on Monday was the United States Department of Labor. They came out against Fashion Nova this week about how they've been underpaying factory workers here in Los Angeles. And to me, I think it's totally insane. And I don't know what your thoughts on this too, Jamar and Marissa. But the fact, because I always like to, a lot of times, sometimes Marissa hears me, I'll bash on LeBron a little bit and be like, yo, look, you get controlled by Nike, but you never want to, you want to speak about Dorsey speaking out against the Hong Kong issue, yet you won't talk about the Nike factory workers that are getting mistreated in China. But then again, I'm thinking about Los Angeles and Fashion Nova, and I'm thinking, how is this even acceptable in our own country that someone's getting paid as little as $2.77?
Because we have so many distractions going on
Mm-hmm.
every day, and social media runs the world right now.
Yeah.
So the things that you are supposed to be caring about and taking a stand against, in 2 minutes something else is happening and you're distracted. I feel like it's sad that a company has basically been selling pieces. It doesn't cost that much to make these pieces, and they're selling them and they're making millions of dollars. And what they're doing is they're looking to see in the industry who is like the popping person and
Mm-hmm.
who is the big person that I can just slap on top of this brand as an ambassador,
Right.
or do a collaboration with, and distract you from that. Because if one person like a Cardi B, if she's bringing out a collection, people are now like, oh, I could be a stripper, and I can be on Love and Hip Hop, and I can be a musician, and I can be a designer with Fashion Nova. It's like,
Yeah.
Doesn't
So,
quite work that way, And they also do a lot, and this is for people out there, because I'm as an actor and artist. I did so much free work, free internship. I mean, I
yeah.
worked for agents, managers. Production company. It was all this internship, and it's like, so they have a lot of these fashion
Right.
designers coming up, and these companies take advantage of that. Oh, put on your resume, free work. And then that needs to stop.
But I think you
People
guys
need
are.
to get paid.
I think you guys are both on a great point, because even like Jamar, you got me thinking about that. Even with Cardi B, because you go on Instagram now, and now they got the shopping tab, and they'll be wearing their clothing, and you just click on there. And do you think sometimes maybe fashion can be a little deterred from digital marketing, or do you think that's actually a bigger, highly successful thing that's actually gravitating for the fashion industry?
I feel like it's out of control right now. Like,
Yeah.
no, seriously, like people aren't going to the mall anymore.
I don't. I hate shopping. I get
Yeah.
overwhelmed
I
looking
love
for clothing. That's why I'm a
shopping.
basic white girl wearing band shirts everywhere I go. Is that acceptable going into 2020? I love it.
I wish I had a black credit card with unlimited money that I never have to pay back. And I would go on the
Yes.
biggest shopping spree, and I would take you, Jamar, and we would
But-
go shopping and shopping and
But
shopping.
let me ask you this. This is even the bigger question. Because, yeah, we all love to go on our shopping sprees. But I think the biggest question is clutter, right? Like, we're always collecting so many shirts over the
yeah.
years. And Jamar, as a fashion stylist, I know it's probably got to be a heartbreaker for you to get rid of clothing. Or maybe it's easier for you because you actually make up your mind compared to me going shopping. I don't know what I'm looking for. So how long do you keep your clothes? And when is it time to let it go?
Honestly, if I have a piece that I actually love, the thing about clothes is they never go out of style. They come back in style in the
Mhm.
70s and the 80s, high
That's
waist
true.
pants and bell bottoms and
Scrunchies
crops.
are back.
Yes, scrunchies and leg warmers, all that comes back.
Leg warmers.
So I like to remix my clothes. I still have pieces from high school,
Wow.
and I wear them.
Yeah.
See, that I'm only like that with band shirts, and then I'm like, what do I do with the shirts that don't
Well-
fit me? Do you ever make a crazy art collage? Because I know you said you grew up creative before the fashion kicked in.
Yeah, you can distress t-shirts. If they
Mhm.
were too big back in the day, that's acceptable now, because oversized looks and that whole gender fluid thing, nobody
Right.
uses the word unisex anymore. more.
Oh, that's
Gender
true.
fluid. Yes, I wanted to touch bases on you
snap.
guys with that. Nobody really uses the word unisex. The new word is gender fluid,
Yeah, that's
especially in fashion,
Oh, I
because
didn't
I
even
had
like
no
catch
idea.
on. No, I didn't
'Cause
catch on. I knew that word was so
well, from the
big,
Mandalorian,
and
the
I
Star
just
Wars,
seriously.
isn't that Apollo Creed that just spoke up and said he's gender fluid? That was like the
yeah,
big old conversation, and that
Well,
was the first time I
he's
really
actually
heard it.
not. If you if you look back into what he
Hey,
was saying,
he said
no. What he was saying is that his feminine side, the yin yang of humanity.
Yeah.
Everybody is masculine and feminine. He embraces his feminine side. What he mistook the question, and they ran it as he's not like masculine sexually
Sure.
attracted to that. That's not what he meant.
But
He
think
said embrace the feminine.
But even like Jamar Hart saying, I think that's very interesting. So no more unisex. It's gender fluid. And when did you start seeing that happen more and more? Was it happen this year or?
I want to say like 2 years ago, I actually was on the plane headed to New York, and I read an article in Time magazine that Kanye West, he was pushing for the gender fluid thing
Gender
to
flex.
happen.
I like that too.
I like gender flex. That's an even better
I
word
said gender
now.
flex.
Gender
I like
flex.
gender flex.
That's the new word. Gender fluid is out.
Yeah,
gender flex
flex.
is in.
Gender
As of
flex.
Jamar Hart, dude. Please.
You might got a clothing line
I'm
right
gonna
here. We just
hashtag
made
that.
it. I
I'm
like that.
hashtagging gender flex.
Hashtag gender flex.
Oh, it's so amazing.
Let's
Wait,
do
real
it.
quickly, Jamar. I have one question I'm dying to know. So it just came out that the 2020 color that is now the color is that blue. We call it the Chris Collins show blue, right? So that's like supposed to be 2020. We're going to see blue everywhere. If you had to pick the 2020 color, right? So that was like your job. What color would you pick for 2020?
Gold.
Yeah,
Gold. Hey, I
gold,
love
baby.
gold.
Ching, 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 ching.
But hey, I gotta let you know this because I know my producer's been dying for this question before we wrap up this segment of Just Talking. But hey, is it ever acceptable, Jamar, to wear a turtleneck in Southern California?
I have one right
That's
now.
right,
Look
baby.
at that. I think that passed the test. He's wearing one right now.
So is our producer.
He's like
He's trying to get this guy to put on a turtleneck.
he's been trying to get a
Forever. Jamar,
Why wouldn't you wear a turtleneck? It is holiday season.
That's
That is
right.
That's
the
right.
easiest thing to do. You look so. Women find it so attractive for a male to be in a
Man,
turtleneck
you
with
ju- you
some
just-
black jeans and a
Yep.
Chelsea boot.
Yep.
And it's just sexy to them, so why not? And it's simple and it's clean and it's very classic.
Yes,
As a female, yes,
Right,
yes,
so
yes,
don't.
yes.
So I should never be listening to my bros. I shouldn't be listening to my brothers.
No,
None
you're
of
from
that.
the
No.
You gotta
909.
listen to the
You're
females,
from the
right?
909. You don't listen to your bros.
That's
you listen
true. I'm
to
stuck in
Jamar
the
Hart.
IE.
Period.
Right. I like that. So I just got some nice fashion trends going into 2020. Celebrity stylist Jamar Hart, you have been fabulous, my friend. Thanks for Skyping in, and as always, have a happy holidays.
And for all of
and a
our
great
listeners out
2020.
there, where can they follow you at, Jamar?
Thank you guys for having me, by the way.
Of course.
And you can follow me on Instagram at Jamar Hart. No, Jamar _Hart. JAMAR_HART.
That's right, and I'm
And
telling
follow
you guys.
him. His fashion stuff is awesome.
Dude.
Honestly, I've like been digging all your stuff, and I was like,
And I gotta
loving
ask
it.
you one last
Okay.
thing too. Shake those dreads for
Thank
us,
you.
man. Shake those dreads. I got my reindeers. Yeah. Let's go.
I have my
Jamar.
pineapple ponytail in right now. That's what everybody calls the pineapple.
I love that.
Hey, I love it. You're under the sea.
Thank you, Jamar. And
Thank
hopefully
you,
we'll
Jamar,
have
as
you
always.
back again. Thank you so much.
Yes, you guys have a great day. And anytime you need a fashion trend or you're feeling scared about wearing a turtleneck, think about me.
Yay!
Hey, as always, my friend. Thank you as always.
Have
and
a good day.
Have a blessed rest of your Friday. Peace.
And for all of you out there, if you liked what you hear and you want to go ahead and become a listener on the chriscollinshow.com,
That's
become
right.
a member and get a free CCS t-shirt today.
What's good? I'm Chris Collins. For more updates on the future of our generation, be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out the chriscollinsshow.com. Peace.